not
do you
just...
draw? Do you doodle unicorns?
So I don't just like unicorns for their rainbow hair, but I like them because they tend to be very well off.
What would your name be if you were a unicorn?
Oh, gosh. Leave me with that. I'll think of something
We'll ask Hotdesk
good.
about that in a minute,
Yes.
because I think Hotdesk is going to become a unicorn. That's my forecast.
So the reason why we're talking about A, unicorns, and B, Hotdesk is because also joining us in the studio is a self-declared digital nomad. Now, I have to admit, quite often when I hear that expression, I'm a bit like, yeah, they don't really exist, though. They're the sort of lesser spotted digital nomad. But Neil promises me that I'm going to speak to not one, not two, but three on the programme today, joined by Mohamed Khaled. He's the founder and CEO of Hotdesk. It's not his first time on Dubai Eye. Hotdesk is an online system which enables people to book a desk, meeting room or private office for an hour, day, month or even a year. Hello, Mohamed. Welcome.
Hello, Georgia. Thank you so much for having me. And Neil, excited to see you as always. And I think the cool thing about this is, just being here a couple of years back when it was beginning of COVID, seeing how the world and COVID has unraveled and how Dubai is doing so well. And thank God how Hotdesk has grown massively. It's just good to be here and share our updates with you.
Yeah,
Mohamed, what better example of a digital nomad than Mohamed Khaled from Ireland? That's a brilliant example. Now, Napoleon said, I'll take a lucky general over a good general any day. And Hotdesk seems to have come along at just the right time. We've had working from home, we've had COVID, we've had the big conglomerates no longer perhaps taking huge office space. What is the timing? What do you see as the thing that is causing a disruption that is playing into the hands of Hotdesk?
Oh, perfect. So thinking about that, when you look at startups and how they launch and the reasons why they succeed, one very underrated reason is timing. Timing is everything, and that can make you either thrive or really struggle. So when we built Hotdesk, we started this just pre-COVID, actually launched February 2020, and then bam, COVID hit. But little did I know that what happened was the world shifted massively from work from office to extreme work from home. But then I knew that in a year's time, when vaccines come out and world gets back to normal, we'll find our way somewhere in between where it's hybrid, where the metaverse exists, but real life does exist. And you need to be in there, in the office, have a coffee, meet people and have fun. So timing for us, we were very lucky. And we came back out to the market last September as things cooled down. And honestly, since then, it's just been booming. We're in the thousands of bookings per market. And it's
amazing. So for the listeners, Hotdesk seeks to be the Airbnb for the managed office space. And you had an epiphany when you were working in your previous company. Tell the listeners about that.
100%. So I was initially working at PwC. I was in audit and consulting. And, as a consultant, you have your backpack on and good luck. You just travel around. So I was traveling between Egypt, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Doha, and more. And every time I went to a new city, even though it was my first time, I'd take out my PwC ID and just open the door. And I'd walk in, I could plug and play. Same brand. I had the feeling where the coffee machine was and everybody was very welcoming. And then one late night, it hit me, wow, how do I create something that gives this power to the masses? And that was the birth or the eureka moment for Hotdesk. Now, elevating on what Hotdesk is, it's not just Airbnb for offices. If you think about that whole market right now is changing because of consumers, right? Businesses are becoming smarter, leaner. Nobody wants a 20-year lease. It's all about flexibility. There is decentralization of where we decide to work as employees and as the freelancer workforce grows. That being said, they need a tool that helps them navigate in a world cluttered with flexible offices. So what Hotdesk, the marketplace, does is helps you find desks, meeting rooms, full-on offices.
Yes, I've just clicked on your app, and there are 3 places within 8 minutes from where we sit, Georgia. So after
That's so cool.
we can go to the Nest, we can go to the Place, or we can go to the One Space Business Centre, and I can get an office for an hour for 107 dirhams. So that's great for the consumer. But at Virtuzone, we work with a lot of managed office providers, and I think that market is dominated by some of the big players, the Regises and WeWorks of this world. But what about the small entrepreneurial business guys that have set up a managed office? How can you help them?
So actually 87% of that market in terms of square footage is scattered. The workspace sort of industry is ultimately dominated by these little 2 to 3 brands across the world, and they're very local and regional brands. Now, the thing is, sometimes they can't afford to invest in the best technology, in the best marketing, and getting their name out there, right? But that's what Hotdesk does for them. Hotdesk is like a grid where a flexible workspace owner can just plug into it, benefit from our marketing that we do on a global or regional basis. We drive down customer acquisition costs and fill up their spaces pretty much.
So, Georgia, this is one of the things that a lot of our customers have the challenge, which is Google is so central to everything that everybody does.
And they make you pay now, don't they?
Exactly. So if a company has got that sorted and goes right to the top of the SEO ranking and is spending money, then that gives you a massive head start. So anyone listening, that and I suppose you allow people to have a shortcut to that, don't you?
100%. So we do all of the hard work for them, and they only pay us a little commission when they make money. So there's no uncertainty, there's no dollars being spent without return, and that's our commitment to our hosts. So what we want to be on one end is Airbnb for offices and help everyone find the right office for their needs without having to drag into a lease, but also become the Android of workspaces where they all function under one operating system and act as one and get more revenue.
So, Mohamed, you've made it sound easy to me, but I bet it's not.
I try.
I bet it's not. What are the barriers to the success of an app like Hotdesk?
So look, I think the one I want to touch upon the most is you as an entrepreneur, right? And I think this is a big journey about you, about your team, and how you guys work. And it's not easy work, right? So I think if you look at the different stages of startup, from idea phase to pre-seed or seed, and then when you get into the bigger Series A, B plus rounds, it's really hard, right? It's emotional, it's volatile, it's crazy, but it all starts with you making a decision that I want to build something bigger, build something better, and just commit to that, and just know that every day, as long as you're taking steps in the right direction, I think that is the highest barrier of entry. A lot of us sometimes just don't take risks.
So at the moment, I can avail of Hotdesk services in which locations around the world?
So right now we're in more than 30 countries, more than 115 cities, with thousands of offices. I mean, and it's just growing day by day. I just actually came back from Singapore and Thailand. We were on a tour in Asia and launching the Asia Pacific market. But all you need to do is literally answer 3 questions. Where do you want to work? What type of space do you need? Is it a desk, a meeting room, or an office? And how long do you need the space? And once you hit that search button, we're going to filter for you what exactly matches your needs, and you can plug and play.
And are you a product that is only applicable to consumers that want an hour here or 3 hours here? Are you also dealing with corporates?
Yeah. So actually, we also have an enterprise solution where we help enterprises find, their best offices anywhere in any market. And yeah. But I guess back to George.
Oh well, I've got one very quick final question before sadly we have to say goodbye, which is obviously you must have loads of data because lots of people come and they rent your desks from you. And we've got this survey that suggests that Dubai is hugely popular with remote workers, with these digital nomads. Does your data bear that out? Is Dubai the most popular place for people to Hotdesk?
So, I mean, there are so many different variables and factors, but if you look at the data in Dubai, it's just booming. The amount of incorporations, business setups coming in, people using the app is growing day by day. And that does definitely signal a much bigger, global sort of move at hand, right? That Dubai is just becoming the hottest place on earth for startups.
That is very cool to hear. Very interesting stuff. Mohamed Khaled, as ever, thank you for being for your second time on the agenda. It's a pleasure to have you here, the founder and CEO of Hotdesk. It's been great to catch up with you. And I hope we see you again and you'll be like, we're in 100 countries the next time we see you.
They always say the third time's the charm, right? So maybe
third time's the charm.
Thank you so much.
I hope it's Neil and
Good luck,
I here.
Mohamed.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Bye-bye.